Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today we're going to be working on some sunflowers. We're going to do these 3 different ways because I know that not everybody has a die cutting machine, or they might not have a Cricut or other type of device like that. So we're going to do some where all you will need is a ruler, a pair of scissors, and a pencil. And I will show you that one 2 different ways too, if you have a scoreboard or if you don't have a scoreboard. So the first one we're going to start with is the dies. Now this particular die is from Yingping Die Craft Store on AliExpress. It was $2.20. The die comes with the leaves, the flowers themselves, which I thought I had some pull. I do here. That it cuts out, and they got pretty good detail. They've got the little holes and stuff in them. And then also a flower pot. I did not cut the flower pot out because I didn't need it. I created these for a wedding album that I was, so I used these for that album. The other materials we're going to use are just some Chanel stems or pipe cleaners in brown, and these just happen to be Hobby Lobby brand, and they were $1.99. You can wait for them to go on sale or use the coupon. Other than that, you're just going to need maybe some pliers, a pair of nippers, or you can use your scissors if you don't mind cutting the lightweight wire, your pencils, hot glue if you want to use hot glue. I'm going to use regular just art glitter glue. So let's go ahead and get started on these. So I have cut 3 of these out, and before I cut these ones, I actually took one of my inkers and just lightly inked some reddish color down on there and then cut them. You don't have to do that. I was just trying to get a variation. This one is without, as you can see. That's just without it. And then this one is one built with it. I'm not sure if you can catch that, the little tones there. But to do that, you can, I did these in navy. I did them in a blue or a brown pattern paper. So you can do whatever papers you want. So with these ones, all I did was I took my tools here, and I'm just going to use the ball tool, and I'm going to run these backwards just to get that tip rounded a little bit, upside down, so that my petals are going to be facing down. Okay, and this is just the kit from Heartfelt Creations. So it's just the shaping kit. This is they make it in 2 different sizes. I went for the 13-piece just because I thought, well, if I use it a lot and I like it, then there's no sense in me buying the smaller kit and then wishing I had just spent the extra little bit of money and got the big kit. So, but you can also use just plain stylus that they sell, like these. These are just regular styluses, and they come in different sizes, different brands. Or you can take just the rounded edge of smooth. You want it kind of smooth, and you can just take that and then just do it that way. So it doesn't have to be an expensive piece of equipment or whatever that you don't have. So that was this tool. That was just my poker tool. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got an ink pen here with just a plastic edge, and so you can do the same thing, just kind of smooth out. Now for your rubber mat, if you don't have a rubber mat, maybe you have a silicone mat in your kitchen that would give you just a little bit of cushion, or take some paper towels, stack them up to give you a little cushion, put those there like that, and then just all you need is just a little cushion for that to press into. So stack of paper towels, or a stack of paper, or like I said, a silicone mat. All those things will help you if you don't have the exact tools I'm using. So I just been putting some glue on these, just like this. Now you could use hot glue, but because of the holes, I'm not going to use hot glue. And with this specific die, I want to rotate until I find the best possible position for this. And then I'm just going to press them together. And like I said, I just did 3 of these. You could do more, but 3 seemed to be plenty with the amount of leaves that were on this. And again, I'm just going to keep rotating till I find what I think is the best position so they're all lined up together. There we go. Okay, like that. I'm going to let that sit and dry a second because it's got glue underneath. I don't want to get glue on my mat. So I'm just going to kind of bend those down a little bit. Post beam, just kind of crimping them down with my fingers, keeping that bend in them. All right, I'm going to put this on my mat, and with my little bit larger ball, I'm just going to go in here. Whoops, those aren't dry yet. I'm shifting them. Okay, we're going to let those tack up a second, and I'm getting glue on my mat. Now with this one here, I cut the flowers apart. Like I cut this extra one off down here and placed it different, so it just looks different there. That actually does have some nice looking leaves. Tacked up now. Okay, let me see. See if it's tacked up now. So I'm just gonna bowl that just like that. And this is the only one you have to do that to. Again, you can use your other tools, whatever you have handy. Okay, so we're going to take a piece of our pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to come in with my needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to start that in a half circle. Oops, sorry. So I just took it, get back in here in view, and I just curled it over. Now I'm going to grab that with my fingers, and I'm just going to start winding that up on itself, almost like, so it's formed in a circle like a snail shape or shell that curves around. And I'm just going to keep pinching that and pulling it around right up against itself in a circle until I get to about the size I think I'm going to need. Then I'm going to check. Okay, that looks like it'd be about perfect. So I'm going to come in with my nippers, and I'm just going to snip that. This is thin wire. You can use older pair of scissors if you don't have nippers. That will work fine. And then I'm just going to take my pliers again, and I'm going to bend that back in so it's not sticking out. And now I'm going to take this, because this end looks like it folds out just a little bit further than the rest. I'm just going to move this around until I find the spot where it looks like it fits the best. And it's weird, but there always is a spot where it kind of looks the best. So let me see here. Right there. It just kind of makes it look more like that. So I'm going to pinch that, grab those little fluffies, and I'm going to add my hot glue. Whoops, sorry about that. Add my hot glue, and the glue is going to help hold that together and hold it in place. And I'm just going to put that right back in there, just like that. And that creates a real nice looking sunflower. You can rearrange the petals as you want. All right, so that's our first one. That's with the die. Our next one was created with the Cricut. Now this was set at 2 inches, and it is from the 3D flowers collection, and they look like this. Okay, so I set those at 2 inches, and I used 6 for this. Now as you can see, they're quite similar. I mean, this one is, they're more uniform, where this one is kind of curved and stuff, but that's the way the die is made. So, but quite similar. So what I did with these is I just glued them on top of each other. Oops, let's go in first and do our curving here. If I might pin there. Okay, so with these, you can do the same thing. You can go in and just curve those down like that. You can use your thumbnail or finger or a pen and do the same thing. Just pull. Now hold right onto that and go about 3/4 of the way down and pull. Just get it in. Whoops, and see, I pulled too hard, so I broke that one. But that's all right. I'll glue that back in. We'll use that as one of our bottom ones. So I got to be a little more gentle, not so rough. And if you have something smaller, you can use something smaller. I have all kinds of, this just happens to be an X-Acto blade. If you use an X-Acto blade, take the blade out. And then this just happens to be another pokey tool. So just anything with a nice smooth edge, and just gently pull on that like that. Just give it a bend, or like I said, you can use your fingernail and just kind of pull on it with your fingernail. Doesn't have to be a sharp turn, because you can reform them once they're done. Okay, so that's all of those. So now I'm going to take some glue, and on the underside here, because I want those to curve down, I'm just going to put that like that, and I'm going to just offset them just like a third, just like that. Hang on, and I'll lift it up. So just like a third of the way. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go another one and close up that gap there like that, just like that. Now this one could be kind of used as a daisy too, I guess, if you wanted to, but then you would use just a little bit different center. So I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to kind of go in between those ones. And the idea is to get it so you can see the individual petals the best you can. I'm going to put on this one I broke now. And we're going to go in between again, just like so. And then I'm going to come in here, put a little glue, replace that flower, replace that petal that I broke off, just like that. Okay, and then our last one, we're going to come in and try to get in between those ones there, just like so. All right. So this is what we, end up with. So now I'm going to come in and see if I can get that to kind of curve in on itself. I'm just going to press. I'm going to swirl. I'm just going to kind of press just to get it to curve up a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to get a piece of wire here. I'll try this one. I don't think it's big enough, but let's go ahead and try. Let's see. So another little curl there. And then I'm right-handed, so for some reason I like to hold it with my left hand and pull it with the right. Whatever's comfortable for you, that's what you can do. All right. So let's see what we got here. Let me see if it's big enough. And I'm just going to grab that and curl that in. Yeah, so I think that might be all right. So I'm just going to, again, I'm going to pinch that. And another glue stick here. Okay. And I'm going to put some hot glue on there. Again, it's going to hold it together and hold it into its spot. And press it right in there just like that. And then once that's all dry, then you can go back in and manipulate these how you would like. So there's another option for you. Okay. And with this one, that hole's in the bottom, so you just want to make sure that you don't get hot glue coming out on your finger. So that's our second one. For our final one, we're going to be able to do this a couple different ways. So the first way is we got to create a template for both of them. So it doesn't matter. Oh, here's my template. Doesn't matter which one of these methods you use, with the scoreboard or without the scoreboard, you're still going to need to create a template. Oh my goodness. I haven't had enough coffee, I guess, yet. So I've got a scrap strip here that's about 1 inch high. And I've come in with my ruler and I've marked at 1/2 of an inch and drew a line with my pencil. So now we're going to cut that. So I've got a 1/2 inch by 1 inch rectangle. I'm going to fold this in half, just like so. So now I've got like a little 1/4 inch piece of paper by 1 inch high. I'm going to take my pencil and I want to draw from the top, and I'm going to come out, well, let's see what that is. I want to say about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, and I'm going to go right to that center. My paper's opening to my right like a book. So I've got my line coming down here from the center, and I'm about 1/8 of an inch in here. And I'm just going to kind of meet these two. Now I don't want it as wide as this. I don't want it 1/4 inch wide. I want more of a narrower looking petal. And if you don't like the shape, you can always recut it. This is just your template. So now I've got the shape I think I want. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut this out with my scissors. Okay. And now I'm going to open it up. And yeah, that's not too bad. See, it's about the same as my template there. But I don't want that flattened on the top there like that. So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to trim that off so it's pointed, because I don't want it flat. There we go. So this is my template. So I would mark this with a T on both sides so I don't end up using it as one of my petals. So there's our template. Easy. So the next one we're going to do, we're going to use the scoreboard, and you can do these in lengths of, and this piece here just happens to be a little over 1 inch. It's a scrap. It ain't going to matter. My template is still the same height. So this just happens to be 8.5, so it's probably a scrap from an 8.5 paper. And I'm going to go in at every 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to start at 5/8, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 1/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 7/8, 2 1/2, 3 1/8, 3 3/4, 4 3/8, 5, 5 5/8, 6 1/4, 6 7/8. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do one more time. 7 1/2. Okay, so that gives me 12 5/8 inch sections. I'm going to cut that at 6 sections, so right in half. And then you're just going to accordion fold. Okay. So now these you can do them 3 sections, 2, whatever thickness you can cut. I find that 6 is about as thick as I want to try to cut. Okay. So now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to take my template and I'm going to lay it right on one of these outside pieces. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to draw my shape on there. Okay. Just like that. All right. I'm going to refold all this. Okay. I'm going to come in with my scissors and I'm going to cut my shape out. And I prefer to take the line so I don't have a pencil mark and I don't make them too big. And I come in here just like that. And then they're all separated. So I have 6 pieces. Okay. I should have 6 pieces. Yeah, I do. 6 pieces. I want to cut out, I think, 24 pieces. So you would need, if you were cutting 6, you would need to cut 4 of these. Okay. That is that way with the template. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can come in with your piece of 1 inch. This again is a 1 inch piece of scrap paper. I came in with my ruler and I marked it, and I'll just do this end. So we're doing it together. Okay. So let me get over here. I've got my thing zoomed in, so I got to remember to look. I'm going to mark at 5/8 of an inch, just like that. Now, when I fold this, I want to make sure that my paper is even, that it's not crooked. Okay, then I'll get a nice, so I'm going to come in by my pencil mark, or close. Doesn't have to be exact, but that's what I want for a minimum. And I'm just going to press and fold that, making sure that I'm even. Okay. And then I'm just going to start doing an accordion fold, matching up those edges. So that way, that way, that way, just going back and forth, just folding till you get to the thickness you're willing to cut. And then go ahead and trim off. And then you can open it up, get your template, and put it on that end piece there. And draw your shape. Got to kind of hold it in place here. Move your finger maybe a couple times there. All right. Accordion it back shut. Come in with your scissors and trim it off. All right. It's a little messy, but hey, that's all right. Now with this template, you can make these whatever size you want. As you can see here, I've got one that is bigger. See? These pieces here were about 1 1/4 high. So a little bit bigger, still the 1 inch, and so they're a little bit wider. So, but you could cut these 2 inches, 3, however big, however size you want. You're just going to have to make your base circle bigger to start. All right, so we've got some of these going here. So let me get these out of the way. And then I'm going to take these that we just made, and you could even use your stylus to anything that's going to curl those. Okay, doesn't matter what, just something that you can pull along and curl those up. So you can do the same thing you would. Now, some of these I got textured paper, so I'm going to try to stick with that. And this last one I used, it wasn't textured because I was digging through my scrap bin. So I was looking for just scraps. 1 inch wide, so I didn't have to cut my scraps down. But I usually save at least 1 inch wide, some of them, because if I have to make any hinges or anything, then I have some of those. But whatever you have, any color. Like I said, I happen to have these pieces here, so that looks like enough there. So, all right, let me get this out of the way. So that's how easy that is. So now I've gone ahead and I've cut a 1 inch, somewhere around here I have a circle, so let's just recut one. It's actually less than 1 inch, so I just need a small circle. So I'm just kind of cutting out a circle here. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that ends up being about 3/4 of an inch across. All right. I'm going to use regular art glitter glue. Let me zoom in here. All right, put this into, and I'm just gonna put a circle of the glue on here, just like that. And I'm gonna come in with these. Now my curve is going down, but I'm gonna take my thumb and just kind of fold that up, okay? Like that. That's what's gonna kind of sit in the, doesn't have to be big, but I'm gonna sit that right in the circle there. And I'm going to do that to all of these. Just kind of come in and set these in the circle. And we should be able to get 6 of these around this circle here. But it doesn't matter. Whatever you can get around there. Because we're going to alternate them as we come in. So there's 6. And then we're going to come back in. And I'm going to just put glue kind of in between these. Because I'm going to go in between these two here. So just dabs of glue there. And just like the others, I'm going to try to only go like 1/3 of the way. Okay. And I'll lift that in a second there for you to see. So I'm going just splitting the difference there. Okay. So just like, whoops, just like that. Okay. Just kind of splitting the difference, not quite, not centering it. And then the next time we come in, we'll come in the difference of that. Okay, so we're going to come back in with some more glue in between those points. Just like that. If you want to use hot glue, you can. But this is such a small flower that I didn't want to mess with it. So then these are going to come in between that, whoops, between those two. And we're still working on that same edge. We're not going in per se, we're just going around. We're keeping our same distance there. See, it's just the same circle. All right. And you might have to add a little more glue. It all depends how they're grabbing. Okay. Okay, that's another row of 6. So we're going to do one more row of 6 that will give us 24. So we're just going to come in here and put our last row in. Now if you want to stop at 18, you can. I just figured it looks a little bit fuller. If you want to do different size flowers, you can. You know, different size petals if you want to make your center one smaller. But I figured this was the easiest way to come in and show you how to, whoops, this one's upside down and I can tell because there's no texture. Whoops, sorry about the phone. There we go. And the last one, just like that. So we can go in, whoops, I'm going to zoom back out here a second because I keep going out of view. There we go. So I'm going to hold it in the center and I'm just going to kind of reshape these just a little bit. And they actually don't look like much. They just look like a regular kind of flower. until you get that in there with these. All right. So again, come in with my needle nose pliers, give it a little bend, and then I'm just pinching that curl that I just made, that tiny little curl, and bending it back on itself, just like that. So just until I get about the size I think I'm going to need. And then I'm going to go in, I'm going to try it. That looks about right. So I'm going to come out here, my nippers, a little cut. And I'm going to bring this back in here. Oops. Cut it down. Okay. And then go ahead and pinch that. Just grabbing hold of it with my nails. And we're going to give it some glue. Okay. And press that in there. And like I said, I did this one in white just because I had the white scraps all ready to go. But that is it. Now you could come in here with colors and with your inks and ink that or do whatever you want. But so that is our 3 samples of flowers. And actually this one has a bigger one. You can see that's just a little bit bigger. So we have our die cut, we have our Cricut cut, and we have our hand cut. So I hope one of those will work for you. And like I said, with these ones here where you cut them by hand, you can make your template any size you want. If you want to make a 1 foot across daisy or a sunflower, you could. You would just, because you have your width of your circle, so you'd start with a bigger circle. And then you would have your petals would be longer. So if you wanted to go, say 12 inches across, then you would probably have about 4-inch long petals, and then you'd have your base flower or base circle and then another 4-inch petal. So then you'd end up with about a 12-inch piece, I'm guessing. So if you wanted to do big wall ones, play with it. And I hope you have fun, and I hope you give it a try. And I'm going to be doing a series of just paper flowers for a bit, just because I love making my own flowers. Gives me the opportunity to use matching papers that coordinate with projects I'm doing, and it's fun and I like it. I think they turn out nice, and it saves me money because something like this is I use scraps. Even for these ones here cut out with a die, I use scraps. And your Cricut ones, you can use scraps for that because you can place on your Cricut mat anywhere you want. So if you are not a subscriber, I hope you do so at this time. And when you do, please hit the bell so you can be notified each time I put up a new video. I try to do at least 1 video a week at this time. And sometimes I get more, but at least 1 a week of some kind. And go ahead and check out my previous videos. There's quite a few on there. And I appreciate all my subscribers. And I hope you all are staying safe. And until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.